Hasan learns duckduckgo is greater than Google. Okay, let's see this.
I don't know if I should click on you guys' dumbass memes. I'm like worried. Wait, what is this? That's a good one, dude.
DuckDuckGo doesn't have that deep state algorithm shifting. They're trying to push you towards socialism, but DuckDuckGo knows you want to talk about the internationally famous superstar, Hasan Minaj. Chat, it's time for Hogwatch. Hogwatch, clank, clank.
I'm not gonna get the vaccine, then die.
Ivermectin.
The Biden crime family steal this election.
Fuck those other countries.
It's time for Hogwatch. For all your Hogwatch needs.
Most people, even college has not fully knocked this out of people. Most people do assume that it is innate to women to want to have a child, to want to have children. So when a woman says, I don't want children because of a certain issue, I don't know if people judge her harshly. I do. I think she's an idiot.
What is it with these old white fuckers uterus inspecting and ovary? What is with this? That is one of our uteruses and two of our ovaries not in use. We must object. Is there anyone more evil than Prager? Yes, but he's up there.
But it's not most people are judging her harshly. It's that most people are just confused. Why do I think she's an idiot? Because I don't believe for a nanosecond that the world is on the verge of extinction due to global warming. It is one of the many, many lies that people who with college degrees believe.
Just so everybody understands, the theories that are scientific fact at this point about global warming and radiative forcing and increasing the temperature on the earth don't say that human beings will go extinct from global warming, just that there will be catastrophic changes to the climate that will be massively disruptive and cause millions, if not billions, of people to become refugees, disrupt food production, and damage the economy. So millions of people will die. Now, is that complete extinction? Probably not. Will richer countries probably still exist? Probably. But the disruption and the conflict that will be brought about by unmitigated climate change is almost unspeakable. Now, I happen to be an optimist. I have pessimism of the intellect, but optimism of the will. I live my life as if I'm gonna win. Now, does that mean that we're gonna win necessarily? No. Does that not mean that we've got idiots like Dennis Prager trying to maximize the harm of global warming and other crises facing the planet? Yes. If tomorrow NASA discovered a huge asteroid was coming to hit the planet, the Republican Party would probably say we shouldn't spend any money trying to deflect it from hitting the Earth. They would be trying to vote down. They would be filibustering the deflection budget bill. And then the best part would be the Democrats would say, we have to pass it in a bipartisan fashion. Now, I have said myself that if you are one of those people who wants children, if you in your heart of hearts want children, but your empathy tells you that the world's going to be a bad place in the future, so you don't want to put them through it, a very pessimistic, that's philosophically pessimistic. That's Schopenhauer shit. I tell you that I don't agree with that. I don't agree with Schopenhauer. I don't agree with philosophical pessimism. And I don't think socialists ought to cleave to that kind of thinking. I think that's not understanding the theory of Marxism. If you understand the theory of Marxism, if you understand leftism, one of the major assertions that Marx makes is that capitalism will eventually collapse because of its contradictions. And we will move on. Okay? Capitalism is not the end of history. All right? So if you're one of these people that are pessimistic and you're letting that pessimism dominate your life, you just know that you're not. You're doing Schopenhauer. You're not doing Marx. Mike, you're just trying to let people know that, okay, Jesus Christ. Okay, James, Jesus Christ, man. Let's get more Sam Cedar content. I'm feeling a Sam Cedar content kind of day.
This Dennis Prager.
Oh, it's
thing,
Michael. This is even better.
Didn't Chapo do a good bit with Dennis Prager where they played like Marvin Gaye in the background and just did a breakdown of how Dennis Prager is basically like the horniest guy on the planet?
Oh, God.
So
Also tax deductible, Dennis Prager.
he's taxed this motherfucker.
PragerU is tax deductible.
PragerU is a
501c.
propaganda YouTube.
Honestly, I should set this channel up as a 501c3. Donate to the Central Committee for a tax deduction. Why don't you? Because I endorse specific candidates. And you can't actually endorse candidates if you have a 501c3. That's why. Oh, DSA Creep got put up to tier 2? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. If you want DSA Creep, you have to be a tier 2 sub now. Haha.
Series to seed anti-science, corporate exploitation, and bigotry.
It's a history whitewashing operation.
Soon
Yeah.
to be a federally credited institution.
All right, Chad, I gotta tell you that this is the golden age of MR, in my opinion. This is the silver age. We're living in the silver age of MR. MR is still great, no question about it. But this was the gold age. This was the golden age.
I'm joking, but I hope not.
I mean, we're coming.
Probably.
Yeah. Dennis is doing a great job. By the way, a Jew. So not a fun one.
If you're a rich asshole, you can lower your tax liabilities by giving money to this guy.
Can't wait to take Owen Benjamin's class on the social implications of using bad language.
Oh yeah, the Owen Benjamin video was very.
Oh, he
funny.
knows the social implications of that.
Definitely not as strong as the Sam Harris material, which was actually pretty funny. So this is okay. Let me set this up for a little bit. Say you watch Tucker Carlson every night, and you're enraged because there's roving immigrant hordes, and Tucker has you all worked up into a paranoid, bigoted lather, and he's saying like, "Well, I don't understand. Like, why can't we just protect our border?" And you're all upset, and the country's going to hell, even though your party controls
Nothing has changed since this, by the way.
all three branches of government, and your immediate life is actually totally secure, cushy, and protected. In fact, you couldn't have an easier life. But your blood pressure is high, you're taking all these medications, you're depressed, you're angry, and you're irrationally afraid and terrified, which is why you even have to be thinking about gypsies, for God's sake, which everybody should always remember. That was literally a Tucker Carlson segment was on the gypsies. Speaking of some of the retro flavors of modern right-wing politics. So
you're cruising for a bruising, buddy. Jamie was amazing. She brought in the Chapo people. Like, she really increased the fun of MR without a doubt. She was so good at MR. You just don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what to tell you. She significantly increased the fun of MR. That's just a terrible take.
Tension built up, and say you're
The
married.
only people who don't like Jamie are old as shit boomers, incels, and horrific liberals. Horrific neolibs. Don't forget those people. They're awful.
Married, presumably in a very loveless marriage, and you sort of work your way off of the couch. There's a Hannity commercial break. You're about to come back on and figure out what the new Clinton Soros plan with the deep state is, and you got about 20 seconds in you to relieve yourself of your earthly burdens in your wife, and she doesn't want to, because for probably endless numbers.
You mean the guys who defended cops because they provide a way for people to get out of poverty? I mean, listen, if you make a show where you're talking about politics for hours upon end, you're going to have bad takes from time to time that even you disagree with later. That's just how it is. I'm not going to cancel anyone for having a single bad take. However, if you consistently have shit takes, then I'm probably going to think you're pretty bad. But Chapo's takes are great. And unlike other people, Chapo was on the ground helping Bernie before anyone else. And notice that the anti-Chapo people didn't go, wow, it's really amazing how Chapo's going to Iowa. It's really amazing how Chapo went to New Hampshire. It's really amazing how Chapo went to Nevada. Nobody gave them credit for organizing in the real world from leaving the internet, right? All the people who did one thing of canvassing before they got disavowed are like, oh, I do stuff in the real world, unlike the other content creators. But when Chapo did it, none of them gave credit to Chapo. That's odd, isn't it? Anyway, sorry.
Number of obvious reasons she is not in the mood. Well, Dennis Prager is here to help you, and he's on his old buddy Tucker's network
Jesus
to
Christ,
tell this
everybody.
audience and explain
Restrain yourselves
Dennis Prager's
about
new
women's attractiveness,
when
please.
when a woman isn't in the mood series.
Simply offered the advice to a woman, if you love your husband and he is a good man, then don't let mood alone determine whether or not you'll have sex with him.
What? This is on Fox News, and the chyron is free speech under threat on college campuses. Why is Dennis Prager talking about free speech on college campuses? Dude, if I see you near a college campus, I'm looking out for the van, the kidnapping van. You're not a professor. Stay away from colleges, Dennis. You fucking creep.
Simply offered the advice to a woman, if you love your husband and he is a good man, then don't let mood alone determine whether or not you'll have sex with him, because it's an important thing to him. So give it a try. Okay? I don't want to jump in, but is my wife still here?
Oh, I didn't even know Corolla was.
Earlier, she was. Lynette. All right. There's some
That's Adam
wisdom.
Carolla?
Yeah, that's Adam Carolla.
I didn't realize.
This is my man.
Oh my God, Dennis, where?
It's really not that funny.
He's not here.
Well, all right. So it's truly helpful. So here's the terrible part.
Where you got that?
Yeah, I think we established that, dude. But it's just, it's just so creepy because it's like, I don't know. Imagine branding this. Wow.
It's so fucking creepy.
Free speech is under threat on college campuses.
And like, not
Fuck your husbands, for God's sake.
Not to state the obvious, but women often do that a lot of the time. And you know what? It's none of his business.
Come on.
Come on.
There's a little bit left of this.
If you love me,
we gotta get the horrible part.
love me, and I'm a good man.
Oh, God.
So here's the terrible part. In Huffington Post, just 2 weeks ago, a guy cited this from 10 years ago. Prager advocates marital rape. And that's what they wrote in the Colorado State University. The guy, beware, a guy who believes in marital rape is coming to campus.
That's disgusting.
Yes.
Can we just have a freeze frame on his face right after Carl?
It sort of
right after
sounds like...
Tucker says that's disgusting. Can we just have? Can we just have a clip of Prager's face like that?
By the way, conservatives do advocate marital rape. This is not a new thing. Conservatives believe, and this was the law of the land for the longest time, that a married woman could not be raped by her husband. That was the law of the land, and it is the law in some places still. And in some states, like being married to a person that you rape is a defense that significantly reduces the punishment. For example, in South Carolina, they lay out distinctly different definitions and penalties between rape by a spouse and by other parties. First and second degree sexual assault carries a maximum prison sentence of 30 and 20 years respectively, while 10 years is the maximum sentence for marital rape. In order to prosecute, the married victim must report the rape within 30 days.
That is disgusting.
That's the face I want to take my marital advice from right there.
It sort of sounds like he's making a bit of an early apology for a potential marital rape. Like I said,
get out ahead of this divorce.
Yeah, think about more than your mood. Think about like you might get raped in the future.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's literally what he's, I think, implying there.
Well,
like,
it's also
blaming the wife if she doesn't like control her husband's drives.
But it's also like, it's so. it's so insidious because I don't know. Like if you read like some type of like psychology book on like negotiating a relationship, which I am not ashamed to admit that I've half done and I failed. But there, like what I'm saying is he's picking up on things that you might read in like an actual serious book. Like, hey, if you're in a relationship, you need to negotiate boundaries together. You need to negotiate like all sorts of arrangements of how you spend time together, how people want to, touch each other and everything else, right? And he's using this and then he's turning it into a misogynist attack on women. And then basically subtextually by connecting it with campus stuff, making this like attempting to make this like much broader indictment of essentially just progress. I don't know if what I'm saying makes sense, but it's just like these guys are so masterful at taking things that could be like a conversation in one domain and then weaponizing it
because all they
for
care,
like this broader like
culture
attack.
war. Yeah.
All they care about is not the conversation, but what the conversation accomplishes, right?
So
it's like we say, it's why you have like Jacob Wall trying to do this Robert Mueller rape accuser thing,
right?
Because he sees, and from his perspective, he's dumb enough to believe that most of these accusations against, say, Kavanaugh were fake and made up by the Democrats, and so they're like, well, you did that to do this. I want to do that too.
Right. I think that's exactly it. I would say
really good takes from Matt.
Nauseating, but if you look on YouTube, the Chapo bit about Dennis Prager just being hopelessly horny and harassing his wife, and the idea of reading Prager passages underneath Marvin Gaye is I mean, that's sort of like the poles of human experience, right? Like from the highest to the lowest depths, right there. Yeah, that is just a real clip.
It really seems to speak to a certain subsection of like maybe the men's rights people.
Oh yeah, I think he's a pioneer
people,
of that
because their model for something
Good
sexy and healthy is not something that's actually sexy and healthy, right? It's not like, I don't know, John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. She's a supermodel. He's like a good-looking guy. They have an egalitarian relationship. No, he's like a cuck to them. Their model for who's the man is fucking Donald Trump, right? Because they don't care. They don't care about the woman's experience of any of this. They care about having power over another human being. So like they can look at Donald Trump and like his wife is clearly disgusted by him.
Like visibly disgusted.
Yeah.
And she's a disgusting person. So that says a lot.
Yeah, but
I
like
would
the
really
fact
like
that
to see
he's the man.
I would love to see Dennis Prager call John Legend a cuck.
Jamie hit it out of the park right there. Explaining conservatives in a nutshell. It's just like, if you care about the experience of the woman, you're a cuck. It's like when you watch The Sopranos, and in season 1 of The Sopranos, there's an episode where Junior Soprano, who is the boss of the Soprano family, he has a girlfriend who he takes on vacation, and he performs cunnilingus on her. And he's very skilled at it. And she's like, you're so good at this. You know how to please me, blah, 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 blah. And she mentions offhandedly, like, if only people knew how good you were at this, I'd have to beat off all these women. And Junior Soprano is like, you better not ever say it. Never say it to anybody. Never. And eventually she gossips to her, beautician about Junior being good with the tongue. And it starts leaking around that basically, because he performs cunnilingus, he's kind of gay. He's not a man. And it's a threat to his life as the mafia boss, because he makes sure to pleasure his girlfriend. That is the misogynist mentality right there. Man, you ate pussy? That's gay. And it is The thing is, the thing is, if you watch The Sopranos and all those guys, they have mistresses. They have their wives. You know, they're cheating left and right. So they violate every norm of what they say they believe, you know, as far as the sacredness of marriage and whatever. But God forbid the woman actually enjoy it. If the woman enjoys it, you're gay. Sex is when the woman has a bad time and puts up with it anyway. That is what conservatives think of sex. Something a man does to a woman because he can. That's the conservative mindset about sex. Remember that conservative podcast where they talked about how oral sex is dirty? Yes, we talked about that. Yeah, that was the JLP shit. Remember when people got mad when Batman went down on Catwoman and people were like, Batman would never do that. He's a manly man. Yes, I do remember that. All right, let's finish this.
That would be some very good television.
Well, stay tuned.
Like in person.
Oh, and everybody knows this. This is something that I've explained to people many, many times. Women have better sex under socialism. This is part of my... Later, we're going to watch a video about why socialism is better scientifically. But here's one of the very important pieces of evidence, scientifically proven by anthropologists at the University of Pennsylvania, the internationally renowned Ivy League institution in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, has proven through scientific certainty that women have better sex under socialism. You can't debate it. Facts don't care about your feelings, okay? DJ Khaled won't eat his wife's pussy. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Where do you think he got that idea? PA Ivy League is like CA State School? No, your schools are terrible. DC asked the Harley Quinn team to remove a scene from season 3 in which Batman performs oral sex on Catwoman. Why? Heroes don't do that! In fairness, DC, both Halpern and Schumacher went on to say that the company has been remarkably supportive of their series, and that allowed them to push the envelope numerous times. Still, it remains to be seen if Batman and Catwoman will be shown engaging some bedroom antics in season 3, or if it will simply be implied via cunning linguistics. It was after they released an animated movie of The Killing Joke where they included an unnecessary scene of Batman having sex with Batgirl. All right, we got a couple more seconds of this.
I'm not talking like on a prageru video.
If you come from the school that considers a wife as an asset, like the cuck school of alt-right does,
right?
Then being told that your asset doesn't have to obey your commands makes your asset less valuable to you.
Right.
Yeah, they see other human beings as being instrumental to their idea of being the man, which is also why they like Hugh Hefner, I think.
That's sociopathy as well, by the way. That's just politicized versions of sociopathy. When you see other humans as instruments or objects, that's sociopath shit. Conservatism is literally that.
It's like, do you think that Hugh Hefner's girlfriends are all like in love with him? Probably not.
Well, I mean, he's dead. Like, he's dead, so probably not.
Well, in the Hugh Hefner imaginary, let's say, because he lives on in spirit.
He lives on in spirit.
Unfortunately, he very much does, and it's more about having like money and power over women than it is about having like a real two-sided relationship with another human being.
Ew, that's gross.
Honestly, do you see why I call that the golden age of MR right there? That was so good. Everybody was so good in that clip. Legitimately good show, man. Legitimately good show. Anti-masker Ethan Schmidt getting dunked on. Ethan posted this because he thought it made him look good. These young people don't have time for losers.
Oh, you triggered? You triggered?
I'm not triggered. You're just an asshole.
No,
you can donate $50 and I'll let you go.
Dude, anybody that wears a mask is a traitor to the United States.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
You're a traitor to freedom across the world.
People are not comfortable talking to you if you don't have a mask on. It's my job.
Look, kids get expelled from school if they don't wear masks.
I don't give a shit. I'm not in school.
That's tyranny, dude. They're abusing little kids. So you're enabling that, bro.
Whatever, bro.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be a tyrant, bro?
Hey, bro, don't walk away. I need your name. You can either delete that video or you can donate $50.
This guy's triggered because I
This guy's triggered because shut the fuck up, you little bitch.
What are you gonna do about it?
Nothing. I'm not about to assault you and go to jail. I got shit to lose, unlike you. You're out here with no job, just walking around recording people, bitch ass.
Holy shit! Get his ass! Holy crap!
Oh. Yeah. Oh, Fuck you.
All right.
So you gonna donate or are you gonna sign a
You're
release?
the beta wearing a mask, dude.
A beta wearing a mask?
Yeah, betas wear masks.
Bro, then why don't you put me in my place? I'm talking to you like an alpha. What you gonna do?
If this was like 200 years ago, I would love to, bro, but...
That's crazy, because it's 2021, and you totally could, but you're not.
You can't just fight people like on the street.
You're a pussy.
I wish we could, dude.
Pussy.
I really wish
Pussy.
we could, but we can't do
Pussy.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep wearing that mask.
I will.
Yeah.
Stupid bitch. See ya.
I can't believe he posted this. He got absolutely destroyed. Who would post that?